Hello, hello, testing, testing. Hello, hello. Sorry if that's annoying, guys. Hey, how are you guys doing? So, welcome to my new series. This is Into the Word Garden with your host, Nicole, a Nico Zamu production, or a Studio Nico production. Erase that from your memory, please. This right here is Into the Word Garden, my podcast show where me and you, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna key, okay? You are my co-host. Okay, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna have a conversation, we're gonna talk about all things books. You guys know the drill, okay? We're gonna talk about books. Think about this as your online book club, or just me talking into the void. Basically, I started this podcast channel because I don't want to edit. I really don't. Editing and me, we are divorcing. I don't like doing it, and vlogging is a humiliation ritual. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. Vlogging is a humiliation ritual, okay? Still gonna put up a vlog at some point, but we're playing around different mediums, so we're gonna see how podcasting goes, which basically means this is gonna be stream of conscious, okay? It's just me by myself, no co-host, no nothing. I'm just talking into the void, and hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down, hopefully you're catching it. Anyway, welcome to my studio, the usual. I don't even have a desk, so if you're watching this on video, I literally have my computer posted up on the arm of my couch. So that's the type of humble beginnings this podcast is starting in. But hey, still we rise, okay? Have you guys been keeping up with Love Island? Comment down in the comments down below if you know what I'm talking about. Still you rise, I guess. Oh my god, Love Island was so good. I just recently watched a video. I'll probably put the link down below at some point. But it was a video, I wish I remembered his name, where basically the YouTuber was saying that Love Island is like modern mythology, and not mythology like they've been exalted into myths. Mythology like each of these caricatures, right? Quote unquote, these are not caricatures. I can't say that word. I can't say caricatures. But these are not, made up characters. They are real people. But once they go on something like Love Island, they stop being real people and they start being symbols. Zeus is the symbol of, power. He's the god of thunder, the wind. Athena is the god of strategy, Aphrodite, beauty. Each one of them, these islanders, they end up leaving that island representing and symbolizing for the people that watch something completely different. They stopped being regular human being, or stop being seen and perceived as regular human beings, and they become symbols. We project things onto them. It was such an interesting video. I'm gonna link it down below if I find it. It was so interesting. I love watching videos on well-read people. It makes me want to do that. And then I'm well-read, but I don't know, he was reading philosophy. I was like, I need to pick up what he's reading, because what? Love Island modern mythology? Love Island is modern mythology? Man, what's that meme where you put the credit card down, you go boom, boom, boom? That's me with my credit card on that type of content. Okay, so what do we have on the docket to talk about today? Go ahead and go down in the comments below. Tell me how you're doing. Again, you're my co-host, okay? This is a book club. This is a community event. So go ahead and write down in the comments down below how you guys are doing, what you want to talk about. Engage with me. If not, this is just me talking into a void, okay? This is just another video that's going to be a podcast that goes basically nowhere. But honestly, I'm already enjoying this more, having no script and just being able to talk freely and have no, what's the word I'm looking for? No expectations of having a super short and punchy video. This is great. You have the expectation of me that I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna talk. Okay, we're gonna key. And that's freeing to me. I'm having a good time. I am having a good time. We are gonna have a good time. I have my computer here. Again, you're my co-host, so when it gets dead silent, I'm gonna need you to fill the silence. I'm gonna need you to do something, because I'm over here checking my notes. All right, so episode 1 of Into the Word Garden. The first thing I wanted to talk about is I want to talk to you ladies. I don't know, femmes? Theys, gays, hey. No, let me stop, because I know that some of my friends who are men watch my stuff. So, hey guys, what's up? Welcome. I want to talk to you guys, but specifically the femmes, about Sarah J. Maas's A Court and Thorns and Roses. I am reading this book, and okay, first of all, the Maas verse is something else. Let's start right there. The Maas verse like the Marvel verse, but the Sarah J. Maas verse. That's what the girlies have been keeping from me. You guys haven't been keeping that from me. I've known it's been happening for like 6 to 8 years. Okay, I just haven't partake. That's on me. Okay, that's on me. I was busy reading fan fiction and watching Lord of the Rings and building a career. Sorry, that's on me, guys. I should have done better. But anyway, our first book club, or the first book we're talking about on this podcast, is A Court of Thorns and Roses. Jesus. Sorry, guys. Sorry, team. So first of all, let's talk about how my first reaction to this book, like literally page 1 was, or not even page 1 through 3. My first reaction, the first thought that went into my head was, Katniss Everdeen, what are you doing here, girl? What? Hey, guys, how do you pronounce her name? I'm gonna have to look this up. Let me not do it right now. I'm on a roll. Feyre? No, I'm gonna look it. No. Guys, should I look it up? If I'm butchering it, I'm so sorry. I will look this up at some point, either on camera or off. But I'm assuming her name is Feyre. Or Faye? Guys, what is her name? Me wishing you guys were actually here, my co-host. What is her name? OCI. It's Feyre. Okay, no, hold up. Everyone stop. Stop what we're doing. We're going to figure out what her name is. How do you pronounce? Hold up. Guys, we're going to check YouTube.
My request.
Oh, no, what is this? Guys, I'm trying so hard. If you're watching this on video, I'm so sorry. If you're watching this on audio, I've got the camera or I've got the mic, like, literally on the computer. Feyre. Hold up.
3 of the hardest things for people to say. I was wrong.
Guys, hey, forget it. Her name's Feyre. We're going to go. I don't know. Sorry. Anyway, what was I talking about? That was 2 minutes of absolutely nothing. Anyway, when I was reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, literally chapter 1, my first reaction was, Katniss Everdeen, what are you doing here, girl? Being in the head of Faye, I'm going to just call her Faye, being in her head was like Katniss Everdeen reborn. I actually don't know. So I was thinking about it. Is Faye the blueprint of, the quintessential kind of like heroine that is down on her luck and she's like closed off on her feelings out of survival and she's like stick thin and obviously starving, but meanwhile she can kill a giant Fey wolf, things like that. Is she the blueprint? Because if she is the blueprint, then I can't sit up here on this podcast that I just made 5 minutes ago and say that she's a cliche. So go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. I'm curious. I don't want to say she's a cliche because, again, she may be the blueprint, but she definitely being in her mind felt like just being in the most basic character or archetype or mind of the most basic feminine heroine archetype of, I'm down on my luck, everyone hates me, I'm stick thin, but I'm gonna save the world, or I'm gonna survive, or I'm gonna I'm gonna go do a little 1-2 with grown men and grown magical creatures. That was my first thought. That was a messy first thought, but it was my first thought. Also, I have come to realize I don't know how to pronounce her name. So sorry about that in advance. Second thought that came to mind when I was writing this book is that Sarah J. Maas, she loves nature. Okay, stick with me. I know this is a weird thought process, but I read The Lord of the Rings just last month. So I'm fresh off J.R.R. Tolkien, okay? He's fresh off the press for me. And I was reading, and her prose is actually very beautiful. She loves nature. Like, girl, go ahead and tell me. Go ahead and tell me about the ice, the crystalline ice on the leaves. Okay, tell me about that. I want to hear it. Very beautiful prose. Very well written. The pacing so far has been really amazing. I'm having a rough time connecting with my girl Faye. I'm going to be honest with you. I am. Her family is awful. Being in the mind of someone who is very purposely, I understand it's purposeful, like she's very guarded and very reserved and to some point a little angry, which rightfully so because her family is awful and her situation is terrible and they're starving. But I have a hard time being in that point of view. Maybe I should have read this 6 to 8 years ago when it came out, because then I would have been, 19, 20 at that point? Ooh. aging myself, and maybe I would have connected a little bit more. But at this age, girl, I'm like, I'm gonna need you to articulate your feelings for me, honey. Like, let's have a conversation with your father, who's basically a deadbeat. Let's go talk to him. Okay, we cannot do this. Your sisters, I'm gonna need you to have a conversation with them, because what do you mean? They're awful to you, because they are neglectful. Bullies at best, neglectful at worst. What do you mean you're the youngest and you're over here like making arrows? Do they say at any point who taught her how to shoot a bow? I can't remember. Anyway, so I'm deep in A Court of Thorns and Roses right now. I also kind of wish I had read the book a little sooner, because I know that Tamlin isn't the main love interest. Hey, spoiler alert. I know that Tamlin isn't the main love interest right now. I know that. So I'm having a hard time connecting with him and with them as a couple. With that said, okay, let's touch up on their relationship thus far. I'm at the point where she was already stolen and kidnapped, which we're going to talk about that too. Okay, put a pin on that, because remember the age thing I talked about a second ago? We're going to talk about that. She's already been kidnapped. She has been living in this palace, finally being free of the shackles of her responsibility. That's what the girlies dream of. Really, we dream of it, but it's not realistic, and I'll talk about that. She's been free of the shackles. She's in the fairy world in this amazing palace, and the Night Court representative, who I'm pretty sure is the real love interest. Okay, Mr. Tall, dark, and, well, dark being aura dark, not dark skin, but aura dark. Tall, dark, and handsome. I'm pretty sure he's the main love interest, if I'm not incorrect, and if Pinterest has not led me astray. Because every time I see my girl in any sort of beautiful artwork on Pinterest that seems to just pop up, she is not with Tamlin. She is not with Mr. Beast Reborn. Because that's another thing. Who's going to tell me that this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling? It took me 3 or 4 chapters in before I was like, oh my god, this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It took me 4 or 5 chapters to figure that out. Ugh. Anyway, I'm at the point where she has had to go back home after the Night Court showed up. And they were like, hey, we knew you're carrying a human. Like, that's not allowed. And so some romance has happened within the past 2 chapters. With that said, this may be due to my own bias, but the romance was not romancing. Like, just out of nowhere. Okay, so this is how it went. She thought he was awful, and she was very racist against the Fae race, which, happens when they're your overlords or they're ruling over you. She's mad at him. She wants to go home. She can't go home. She kind of settles down a little bit. He's obviously trying to court her. And this is what made me figure out that it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, because he's got some sort of curse. And I'm pretty sure he thinks that she's going to be the one to undo that curse. So then, suddenly, she gets drunk. And they start dancing. And then that's like the first hint of like actual romance, besides her obviously thinking he's attractive. That's like the first hint of romance. There is a little bit more buildup, okay? A tiny bit more buildup, but not enough that I felt that the climax of the romance, which is, them being heartbroken that she has to leave and like being intimate and kind of like coming together, that to me came out of nowhere. Like, there was not enough buildup for that. And that, again, it may be my own bias, because I know he's not the main love interest. Maybe if I read it thinking that this was the one, right, I would be more open to it. But also, I think that probably was on purpose, because, hey, she's been kidnapped. Like, let's not forget that she's still there against her will type situation. Like, let's not forget that. And that bleeds into, let's pull up my notes, because I'm pretty sure I wrote this down. Yeah, no, I did write it down. I knew what was up. This book, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. The first of the Maasverse books. Actually, that's not true. I think Throne of Glass is first. We're going to look up the Maasverse in a second. But this book right here made me realize that I have aged out of book boyfriends. I've aged out of it. I've aged out. I cannot read. I can no longer read a story where the woman comes and she gets, like, think about it. Twilight, love Twilight. This book right here, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm sure there's a bunch more where the powerful guy comes in and it's basically like, hey, leave the human world, leave all you know behind and come with me and I'll take care of you. See, sounds great in theory, but I am at the age where if a vampire, some sort of fae, shadow hunter, if we remember City of Bones, hell, if Dumbledore himself would have showed up at my door right now at this old big age of 27 and he was like, hey, you're a wizard. Dumbledore to me at my door, you're a wizard, Nicole, like you're a witch, you gotta come with me, we gotta go. What? I have a 401k. Okay, in your magical world, does that transfer? How much is USD to fey gold coins? I don't know, to galleons. What do you mean I have to go with you? First of all, I need to go get my head checked. Like, okay, first of all, now you're stressing me out because I gotta go get checked. I gotta go make sure you are not a hallucination and that I have not been somehow drugged. Second of all, I got bills. I got stuff on auto pay. Like, what do you mean? Again, are you gonna pay my student loans? I don't have student loans. Hey. But are you gonna pay my bills? Are you gonna break my lease? What are we gonna do? Once again, my savings. Sir, I have reached the age where I have a savings. What do you mean I gotta go with you to the Fey world? Again, what's the conversion? What's the conversion rate of US dollars to Fey world money? Okay, you're gonna take care of me. Can you imagine if they're like, no, don't even worry about that. Come on, I'm gonna take you to my world. Like, I got you. Grab a sword. A sword? Man, if some guy showed up with a sword, was like, hey, let's go. And once again, or not once again, but usually these women end up being, see me going into this whole deep dive on why I can't have a book boyfriend. Usually these women, these protagonists, right? Imagining me as me at 27 as a protagonist in a book. If they're like, you gotta learn how to fight, you alone have to save the world. You alone. Isn't she gonna like become a high fae? Like, doesn't she have this big ol' role in this new world at some point? Like, what do you mean? What, you're taking me to a different world so that way I go have more responsibilities and my responsibilities back home are what? Dust in the wind? Sir, and in this surveillance state, see, this is why I can't have a book boyfriend. This is why I've aged out of it, because I can no longer fall into the fantasy of like, oh, she's got to go and, or like, oh, Twilight. Reread Twilight like 6 months ago. I no longer feel like what Bella did. Love Twilight. Yeah, what Bella did was crazy, because now I'm thinking about it from Charlie's point of view. Because what do you mean? What can you imagine if your daughter showed up to live with you, your 16-year-old daughter? Have you seen a 16-year-old? Your 16-year-old daughter shows up to come live with you, falls in love with a really weird looking dude from school, and then spends the next year as like in the most emotional, like emotionally unwell state you've ever seen. Then she decides to get married at 18, straight out of high school, and then leaves, disappears, goes to Alaska, decides to go to Alaska for school with her boyfriend, who is very odd. Guys, this is a horror. Like, from Charlie's point of view, Twilight was a horror. You can't tell me otherwise. She comes back, now she's the undead. Oh my God. And that's the other thing. As a grown woman, I'm like, Bella, what do you mean you're giving up your humanity? Girl, el diablo. What? You're giving up your soul? You don't get out of there for someone you knew for less than a year? You're gonna give up your soul? You want to live forever? Immortality is a curse. Honestly, like, I'm telling you, rereading Twilight as an adult, I was like, Edward was right, okay? He was right with all his whole, like, oh, don't give this up for me. Like, humanity is beautiful. Rosalie was right for being pissed about it. Charlie was living an actual, like, horror film. He was in it. His daughter came back with a whole kid. Literally almost died, and then a month later comes back with a full-blown toddler. That becomes a teenager within like 2 years. Guys, like, it's stressing me out. I've aged out of book boyfriends. And I just can't. I can't do it. And I feel it, right? We're circling back around. I'm feeling it while reading A Court of Thorns and Roses. Because if a fae were to show up at my door, there's literally no reason that would ever happen. But me reading this, stressing myself out, I'm like, if some sort of beast fairy monster showed up at my door and was like pulling up this old contract, pulling up this old laws, and you gotta come with me. And I know that the whole meme and the whole joke is women love the idea of getting kidnapped and having their responsibilities taken off from their overburdened shoulders. All it does is stress me out, because, like, I got certificates, you know what I mean? Like, I got bills. I got all my stuff. Who's gonna... Look, I got my Switch back there. I have my computer. Hey, does the Fae world have internet? Like, does the underworld have internet? Does the wizarding world have internet? What about my parents? See, now we're getting dark, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's my podcast. This is why no main characters have parents. Because how are you going to leave your world behind? And your mom's, you know what I mean? Or your dad. Like, oh, I can't go. I'm going to a different world and there's no signal. Hey, can't go. I have to call my mom every day at 8. If I miss a day, my mom's going to call me and say she misses me and she hasn't heard from me in days. Meanwhile, it's been just a little over 24 hours. If I were to not answer for 2 or 3 days, she would call the cops. Team, I've aged out of book boyfriends. It's official. And this book is not as good as I thought it was going to be. Me about to finish this episode because I'm going to run out of battery soon. This book is... No, I'm not. I'll probably just take a break and charge it. Who's going to stop me? This is my podcast. Guys, I am loving the format of just stream of conscious. Loving that. We're having a great time. And you know what? This may be 50 minutes. Who knows? It may be. Let's look at what we got going on. What's next on the topic? Look, see, put that on my notes. So far, I'm not very impressed, but we persist. Okay, still we rise. Miss Trinity from Love Island. Hello, what's up? She was so great. I know it isn't books, but go ahead and leave down in the comment below your thoughts on Love Island, because I know some of you have seen it. If anyone is watching this and me like speaking into the void once again, go ahead and leave down the comments down below. I was so excited that Bryce and Trinity won. I really, really was. On to the next topic. I ended up running out of battery, but we're so back, and I have 26 minutes left of film. So this podcast episode is going to be exactly 50 minutes on the dot. Anyway, next on the docket is how many books are in the Massverse? Like how intricate is the Massverse? Hey co-host, go ahead and look that up for me. Okay, remember we're co-host, me and you. This is a book club. It's a community. So go ahead and look that up for me. While you do that, I'll do that too. Maybe one day I'll have a real studio so I won't have to face away from you while now you guys see my computer screen. Face away from you when I look things up. But until that is the case, for now, let's both look it up. All right. So enter the world of Sarah J. Maas. Okay, so this is sarahjmaas.com reading guide. Oh, see, this is like very elaborate. As an author, this is so incredible. Or as an aspiring author, this is actually incredible though. Because, I mean, this is an insane amount of books. The Throne of Glass series has, how much is that? 8 books? Jesus. And then it goes straight into the Court of Thorns and Roses, which has 7. Wait, pre-order ACOTAR 6? Isn't that coming like this year? Wasn't that a whole big deal? Wasn't that why she was on Call Her Daddy? I don't know. Anyway, that's got 7. Crescent City has 3. Okay. Bryce Quinlan. Hey, Bryce! From Love Island, USA. What's up? Oh, wait. Is the main character in Crescent City a man? Fine with that. Or Bryce can be a woman. I don't know. that follows half human, half fae Bryce Quinlan on a quest for justice. Okay, so this is definitely intricate. See, now we have a follow-up question of like, are they all interconnected? All right, I'm gonna look this up, guys. Okay, let's look at crewfiction.com. Are Sarah J. Maas books connected and how? Thoughts and words by Joe A. Quinn. Okay, Joe. Guys, maybe one day I'll have like an actual desk that, we can do. I won't have to face away from you while we do our research, but today's not that day, okay? It's humble beginnings. Let's see. The intricate, exciting, and romantic world building of Sarah J. Maas has stolen the hearts of thousands of readers. Yeah, we get it. Oh, you start off with The Assassin's Blade as a prequel. What? That wasn't in the list. What is The Assassin's Blade? As it is a prequel that predates the main story. Or you can read The Assassin's Blade right after Heir of Fire, but that makes no sense because Heir of Fire, it says right here on this list, is the third in the Throne of Glass series. Guys, this is really intricate. This is like literally the Marvelverse of books. That's a huge lie. Pretend I didn't say that. You want to know what the Marvelverse of the book community is? Brandon Sanderson, I don't even want to talk about that right now because the Cosmere novels, what is the Cosmere? Like, what? Anyway, I love I haven't read any of his main stories, like Mistborn or The Way of Kings, but I like his side quest stories, like Tress of the Emerald Sea, Yumi and the Nighttime Painter, like all of his little side quest stories that are not the big intricate fantasies, like epic fantasies that he's known for. Love reading those. Haven't even touched his big epic fantasies because how do you pop out a book or two every year of that scale? Like Stephen King and James Patterson, they do the same thing, but they're contemporary. Not to say that makes it more difficult or, less difficult, but these are this is an intricate world, basically, I'm saying that he's creating. But anyway, back to the Maasverse, that is almost the Marvelverse. One of the Marvelverses of the literary community. How are they interconnected, though? I'm very confused. Okay, no, here it is, the multiverse theory. With the introduction of the Crescent City series, many of us theorize that this urban fantasy setting may serve as a focal point of characters and events from all the series and different worlds to converge. Okay, so Crescent City and House of Breath and Sky and the third one that I can't think of right now, House of Flame and Shadow, is an urban fantasy. This isn't, A Court of Thorns and Roses isn't an urban fantasy. This is like, they're in a separate world. Oh, see, this is deep. Okay, so this is what the girlies have been talking about. This is actually really, really deep. In an urban modern setting, the Crescent City series is going to feel closer than ever. What? See, I'm done looking things up. I'm done facing away from you. I feel rude. All right, co-host. So what? Is it a theory or has it been? Go ahead and look that up for me, if you will, please. Okay, so that way we can talk about it on the next pod. Hey, I was planning some episodes, and I feel like we're over 30 minutes in, so if you're still here, I can say this, and this is a safe space. Should I do an episode where I talk about like how I know how to search up decent stories on the ginormous information system that is Archive of Our Own? What do you guys think? Leave it down in the comments down below, please and thank you. But so far, A Court of Thorns and Roses has been just okay. I feel like I'm in the mind of Katniss Everdeen. She feels like Katniss Everdeen reborn to me, but Katniss Everdeen, love her way more, I'm not gonna lie. I will say I have not been able to connect, as you can tell from me not being able to say her name, to our girl Faye. I don't feel like I've been able to connect with her fully. It's still super early. We haven't even gotten to the main love interest. Like, we're on a side quest right now. So I don't feel like I've been able to connect with her as a character, but maybe that will come in time. I don't know. You guys let me know. What's next on the docket? Reading now. So what am I reading right now? Oh, so we're about to be done soon because that's all I have for you guys. I actually went on way more of a tangent than I expected. Right now, I just finished The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, which I think I will be talking about that a little bit more in depth in my vlog. I'm trying to do a vlog. Again, a ritual, a humiliation ritual. Might talk about that more in a different video, but for this episode, I love The Poppy War. It was so good. It's marketed as a fantasy, but it was not whimsical. Okay, it was not giving epic fantasy. It was not giving magic like how I usually experience magic. It was definitely giving like political warfare. The fantasy / magic system was almost a secondary part of it. Like, it wasn't until we hit part 2 or book 2 of the book that I was like, oh, that's the magic system. Like, oh, it took the entire setup is highly political, very gritty, very historical and historically accurate. I actually found out from an interview that I just saw randomly. It popped up. B.E. Schwab did an interview with her that when she wrote this, she was studying in China and she was studying history. And so you can definitely tell that she is very, very knowledgeable on history, because even though this is a fantasy world, the politics, the strategy, the imperial, I guess like class, the imperial like queen leadership, and then the difference in class systems, the colorism, just the realities, it almost feels like just almost discerningly realistic. It was so realistic, and it was so, I feel, realistic to what you would imagine actual being in that time, but also actual warfare during that time. Like, it just felt too real. It felt like sickeningly real. And then the magic came in, and then that was amazing to see, because her magic, her shamanism, I don't want to give too many spoilers on here. Basically, her magic was connected, I think, to her personal growth, or I guess the personal conflict she had of, is she going to fall into revenge and rage, or, peace and enlightenment? Those are literally her two options. And the fantasy system, her magic kind of falls into, or how she uses it, if she uses it, depends on which side she is leaning towards. So definitely incredibly interesting. Absolutely love the Poppy War. Read another book called The Lawmaker by Susie Tate, and it was awful. It was terrible. I'm so upset I spent money on this. Don't read this. And I'm not even gonna say any spoilers. I'm not gonna talk on it. It wasn't that the writing was bad. Okay, see me saying I'm not gonna talk about it and then going straight into talking about it. And then and again, this has to do with her past trauma and whatnot, but she spends almost the entire book putting him on a pedestal and putting herself down. Girl, no. Don't read Lawmaker by Susie Tate. And that's on that. Anyway, so that was my first episode of my podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for being with me until the end. If you did make it to the end, hey, you're a trooper. And I appreciate you. Go ahead and like and subscribe. I plan on doing at least one episode a week, if not one episode every other week. And yeah, I really enjoy doing this. So you'll definitely be seeing probably more podcast episodes out of me than actual videos or vlogs, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks for being here. Bye.